you are using these fake indicators like GDP, you're going to get mad.
Oh, GDP is fake now.
It absolutely is fake, and it's completely fake. It's all fake money.
We're not gonna listen to the rest of this absolute abysmal dog shit. I just wanted to play those few seconds to say, how is Destiny still banned from Twitch? This has to be a personal vendetta. It has to be someone literally at Twitch has something against him. Destiny is our strongest liberal warrior fighting against the tides of the mental retardation of Hasan Piker and the extreme mental retardation of Asmongold. It's sad that we have this live streaming platform and the two top political streamers both spread anti-American dog shit, anti-American beliefs 24/7, 7 days a week. What has happened to our nation, people? Why are we allowing this to transpire? I'm a big fan of debate. I'm a big fan of people seeing their intellectual giants put to the test in front of others whom they claim to be more intellectual than. And that can only be done if there is an open dialogue, if there is an open platform for everyone to debate one another. Most Twitch streamers do not like to stream on Kick because that means that they don't want to stream on Kick for the purposes of debating Destiny because, well, that means you can't dual stream that on Twitch because he's banned on Twitch. And so it's usually a lose-lose for the person debating Destiny because they are going up against a very difficult opponent, and at the same time, they can't monetize it, at the very least, on one of the largest streaming platforms on the internet. Nothing Destiny has ever said has been anywhere close to the things coming out of Hasan and Asmongold's mouths, especially over the last 2 or so years. Our children are literally watching either straight up gooner bait bathtub streams, or they're watching softcore gooner bait, which is all of these IRL streamers who bring all these models onto the camera to come and flirt with them and to do God knows what. They're watching red pill dog shit or leftist communist nonsense, or they are now watching Asmongold. I'm really getting, and Asmongold is just a straight up, very grievous individual. He carries a lot of grievance and he spreads that forward to different groups of people. He's getting emboldened because he's getting, the jerk off session from his fan base who will tell him, yes, Asmongold, you're correct, W Asmongold, and all of that stuff that you see online. But Destiny is that sort of dark woke, that, slur-wielding liberal, the liberal who doesn't come off as woke scoldy or too soy. He's exactly what we've needed for quite some time, but unfortunately Twitch decided to ban him during the most recent wave of cancellations that went across social media. So now we have a situation where, Gamergate really bore fruit thanks to Steve Bannon and his expert strategizing there, using the political community as he himself, and I quote, called them rootless white males. He called them that. He thinks of them as that. He thinks of them as lowly pawns for his political purposes. And his goal with things of Gamergate and sort were to get the gaming community into politics and, I quote, then turn them onto Donald Trump. And that is how we get figures like Asmongold and all of the other anti-woke slop YouTubers and commentators that we've had recently. Then you also have foreign agents like Russia, Iran, Qatar, and all of these other countries. emboldening people like Hasan and the communists in the United States to spread anti-American propaganda from the left. So we're kind of getting hit from both sides. And our liberal version of Hasan, our liberal version of Asmongold is banned and siloed off onto YouTube and to Kick, where he gets lower lower engagement by the kinds of figures who are being swayed and seduced by Asmongold and Hasan's populist, grievance-based, America bad, liberalism bad rhetoric. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so sick and tired of the America bad, West is falling, West bad, liberalism bad. Everything that made us great and powerful and stronger than the rest of the nations is actually bad now. Why? Because I have no purpose in life. I can't form social relationships because of the way that the internet is, the way that society was set up. So that must mean that literally every single thing about society must be bad and needs to be broken up from the foundations up. I think it's a very childish way of viewing the world, but it's a very simple way of viewing the world. Grievance-based politics are very simple. They're old, they're time-tested. They're an easy way to just expend all of that irritation, that anger, and that stagnancy that people might feel. Then before we head off with this video, I wasn't going to play it all for you guys, but just to summarize, Asmongold says the concept of GDP and all of this economic numbers are fake. They're just fake. He plays a video of Destiny talking about how economists are trying to reconcile this vibe session, the belief that things were very bad for them under Biden, with the dissonance of the actual numbers, the actual data, not suggesting that. And Asmongold says to Destiny, you got to think for yourself, man. Of course, he's implying that Destiny is deferring to these numbers and not thinking for himself on this matter, whereas Asmongold is, by saying the numbers are fake, and then he polls his community, were you better off in 2018 or were you better off in 2024? And he marks this as another data point that the economic numbers are fake. I hope, as you can tell in my voice, I have severe midwit fatigue. I'm tired of all the midwits in our society just yapping and blabbering about things, acting as if they are highly knowledgeable about those things when all they really have done is listen to tweets and podcasts and other things people said. But I hope I don't have to explain to you the reason why gathering data is the height of thinking for yourself. Simply asking people a vibes-based, sentimentality-based, a nostalgia-based metric of whether or not the economy is good or bad is not the height of reasoning. It is not the height of logic, and it is certainly not the height of thinking for yourself. It is highly vulnerable to social influences. It is highly vulnerable to anecdotes. The reason why we have data, objective studies, we have metrics is because they are reproducible, because the data behind them can be traced, and because they seek and often do minimize the impact of things like recency bias or nostalgia bias, of sentimentality, of anecdote, and so on and so forth. I thought we as a civilization have evolved past the point of mere feelings-based decision-making, that we have graduated to evidence-based reasoning, but unfortunately, it seems as though we are slipping backward.